Before I proposed to and married my wife, I made it clear that I thought our love should be a fairy tale. I went to Tiffany and Company and got a beautiful ring and had an extravagant, over-the-top proposal. I don't believe that love should be hard or relationship should be hard either. If both people work together, that love and that relationship should be a fairy tale. I think the same thing about life. Life should also be a fairy tale in that nothing should be outside of the scope of possibility. I think everything, anything, is possible. After studying the teachings of Neville Goddard and understanding who I truly am as a human God, I think that anything is possible. I don't care what it is in my life, love life, work life, financial life, no matter what, I look at everything the same way. Anything and everything is possible. There is nothing that is impossible. Absolutely nothing. And you need to look at your life the exact same way. Of course, the motif that I'm using here is the story of Cinderella, someone who basically came from abject poverty, had mean stepsisters and a mean stepmother, but ultimately was led to her happy ending with her Prince Charming. Guys, no matter what you're facing, everything can be a fairy tale just like this if you want it to be. I don't encourage anyone to go around and say that life is hard, or that love is hard, or that having money is hard. None of that is hard. If you come into the understanding and expectation that everything can have a happy ending, everything within your experience within this life can be a fairy tale. I had a conversation with my godmother a few months ago where her great niece is a very beautiful, svelte young lady. She's about 17 years old. My godmother sent me a picture of her great niece, and the first thing that I noticed about her was that she was very beautiful and model-esque. I instantly asked my godmother, have you spoken to your great niece about possibly being a model? When I look at her, that's what I see. My godmother told me, no, she's actually going to go into the military. My godmother is an old school, kind of practical woman. She's a baby boomer. She's from that generation. And I told her, well, there are different options out here now for young people, and I really think that your great niece should pursue modeling. She's definitely got the look. She's very tall, and she's beautiful. She's got everything she needs right now as a young woman to go after this and actually do it. I could tell that my godmother genuinely thought that, it was a pipe dream and that possibly it could happen to someone else, but she didn't believe that it was possible for her great niece to be a model. Now that I think about it, instead of arguing with her about this, I should have played her this following clip.
Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Impossible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage. And four white mice will never be four white horses. Such folderol and fiddle-dee-dee of courses. Impossible. But the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules and won't believe what sensible people say. And because these daft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible things are happening every day.
Now, if that voice isn't inspiring, I don't know what is or whatever could be. If you listen to what she's saying, how could you not be inspired to go out and take over the world? Whenever I have the slightest doubt or I get discouraged about anything that I'm approaching or anything that I want to do, I think about that part of that song. And it reminds me, anything is possible. Anything. My best friend of 11 years recently told me that everybody doesn't think like you. My best friend told me, you're crazy because you approach everything in a manner in which you think you can do anything. He said, everybody doesn't think like that. He said, I don't know anyone who thinks like you. He went on to tell me that when he first met me, he thought that I was crazy and that I was lying about the things that I told him that I'd accomplished in my life. Then he said, but I sat back and I watched you over the years, and I see how you move and I see what you do. You don't let anything get in your way. He told me, you're so crazy that, he said, I expect you to say anything. He said, next week I expect you to say that you're going to be the first black man on the moon. He told me, he said, if you said that, I would probably laugh at you. But then he said, I would expect to see your black ass on the moon. He said, because I know that once you get something in your head, you are undeterred. You are determined to make real whatever it is, the idea you have in your crazy head. He told me, he said, people aren't like you. They're not crazy enough to believe that they can do anything. He said that to me. And after he said it, I felt so proud because you never know who's watching you in life. You go through life and you just do what you do. But my best friend has been watching me, and he told me that he was inspired by me and he wanted to be like me. We have like a older brother, little brother relationship. I'm 10 years older than he is. It just made me feel really good that the moves that I make in my life as a human God, that I've actually been doing my entire life and not understanding or realizing that I was God, is being watched by others. And they see it. This is not the first person to tell me that they're inspired by my quote-unquote ambition. It's not ambition. It's my godhood, and it's your godhood as well. Be the example of what is possible for all of your family and friends and people who love you. Be the example of what can be to them, and live your life and expect your life to be a fairy tale. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everything in your life should be perfect. Everything in your life should have a happy ending. Don't pave the road of your life expecting life to be hard, love to be hard. Why wouldn't you expect it to be wonderful? Why wouldn't you expect it to be spectacular? Why wouldn't you expect it to be a fairy tale? I am very serious about this. This is my approach to life and anything that I want. If I could tell you about things I'm working on right now, maybe some of you guys would be like, oh wow, that is completely out of this world. But for me, it's not out of this world. It's just second nature. It's just what is. So I encourage you to start laying the bricks of your yellow brick road to your own personal emerald city of limitless possibilities. I'm so excited to announce that we have made it to 500 subscribers. And for that, I say my most gracious thank you. It is so appreciated. I love doing this. I love the channel. Hope you guys love it too. Much more to come. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye everybody.